Good morning. Okay, I'm going to be making cornbread for our lunch today. Robert made up a pan yesterday. It was really, really good. But I needed to make another pan for today. So I thought I'd take this time and show you how I make a pan of cornbread. Okay? I don't really measure, so you're just going to kind of have to follow along with me. All right? First, I take and I start out basically with my cornmeal, okay, and it's, as you can see here, you'll have to back do it, but mine is, I like it best, it's Martha White's buttermilk cornbread mix, and it's already included with everything. Okay, it's the yellow version, it's, it says hot rise, it's got self-rising, it's got everything in it. You don't need anything else to it as far as self-riseners or baking sodas, baking powders, anything, extra salt, anything like that in there. Okay, for a pan for us, like for an extra person here, I will use 2 cups of the mix of my cornmeal. You see, I don't really measure, I just measure and count. Okay, that to the side. Alright, now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my secret ingredient, which is a true Southerner's thing, okay? Depends upon how south you are. Sugar. I don't add a whole lot because I don't want it sopping sweet, but I do want it to have a little bit of extra sweetness to it. And here again, I don't eyeball it, just depends upon who all's eating it. So I'll show you. I will generally use my handy dandy cup that I keep in my sugar bowl. It's going to be roughly, yep, tried and true, about 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of sugar. I can pretty much guess that all day long. Okay, now, the next thing I'm going to do is my eggs. I use 2 eggs. 2 eggs. That's the secret to anything when you're baking a cake or anything like that. When it calls for, you always add at least 1 extra egg to anything that you're baking. It gives you that extra moistness. That's what gives you that bounce in your baking. Always add an extra egg. Mine were pretty big, so I chose a good size and a smaller size. So that's what I'm going to do. And put that in there. And I don't like crunchy, so make sure that there's no shell. That will make me gag. Okay, and there again, here, I don't measure. I just eyeball. Milk. And since it's already got buttermilk in it, you won't add any more. Add just a little bit at first. You'll kind of see it where it kind of sort of looks like cereal on top. And then mix that up. And if it's still too dry, then, because you want it just a little bit thicker than cake batter for cornbread. You want it just a little bit thicker than cake dough, cake mix. And I'll show you in a minute. And make sure you get all that incorporated in there. And some lumps is okay, that's fine. They'll actually tell you to leave that in there because you don't want to just keep beating it to death, because you will. There's just something about over mixing flour products. It makes them tough. Okay, that's a little dry, so about just a little bit more. And then you can cheat if it gets too soupy. Put just more cornmeal in there until you get it evened up. You may have enough first few times to make enough for 2 pans, but hey, that's alright. Nothing better than cornbread milk. That's a good late night snack. That's really good. Okay, I think I'm I've already got my skillet hot. I put my oven on about 375. Mine cooks a little hotter, but it just depends. About 375 is about what I like it to cook at, and it's only going to take about 35-40 minutes, if that long. A lot of it, too, depends on how the weather is outside, believe it or not. If it's wet and damp outside, it takes longer to cook. There's just something about the humidity. It takes longer to cook. Now, if it's a cold day and the house is already warm, perfect time for baking. Perfect time for baking. Because your house is already warm. Summer's a good time if for cookies, because you've got to get your cookies, your cookie dough cool. That's a good time. Not the greatest time for cakes, but it's the best time for cookies. Okay, another little secret ingredient. I'm only telling you, I'm only sharing to you, Brandy. Not too many people know this. A secret ingredient. Butter. Real butter. And yes, I put real butter in my mix. Here again, I don't measure, but I'm going to put a good 2 tablespoons. But real butter. We quit using margarine a long time ago. Long time ago, we quit using margarine. Okay, let's see, make sure. Okay, one more thing. Then I got to oil my pan. See this? Putting the butter in here also helps keep it moist. That helps to keep it moist. So, okay, that looks great. That looks really good. Okay, now. You just use regular, whatever. We like canola oil best, okay? And I've got my skillet here. I got old grandmother's skillet. And I'm just going to pour out enough to basically coat the bottom of the pan. And where I can swirl it, kind of show you how I'm doing it here. Where I can kind of swirl it, you can see. And then I'm going to swirl it up on the sides, and then whatever's left over, I'm going to pour into my cornbread mixture. If my phone don't fall down. Had it all nice and pretty. Okay, now here comes the swirling part. Now I got to be careful because of my wrist and my arm. I'm going to go around my pan about twice, and then, like I said, you're going to see me, I'm going to pour off the drizzlings. And then leave some in the pan. Well, I guess it'd help if I put it over here so you can see me pouring it out. And then I'm going to mix up the rest of it. Mix up the rest of that little bit of oil in there. It just kind of helps as a binder, too. And I'm going to pour up my skillet. My skillet's already good and hot. So, here you go. Let me show you. There you have it. Can you see? There we go. That's what it looks like. And that's pretty much what the consistency should be. About like that. Okay? And let's put it in the skillet. And then I'll show you and we'll bake it. I'll show it to you once it gets done. Now, if your skillets are good and seasoned, and you've had them that way for a long time, and if they can stay seasoned and not get messed up in the process of being left in water and somebody washing them with dish detergent and all that kind of good stuff, your pans, these things should be better than non-stick ware. My pans, I'm not going to brag real big because today be one of them days that it won't. But cornbread will just slide right on out. All I have to do is wipe my pan down and go on again. Okay, and here we go. Ready to go in the oven. And you'll see the little oil dridges around the back. Okay, darling, that's it. That's it until it's ready. And then I'll show you the finished product. Okay? All right. Wish you were here baking with me. We'd make some cookies later. Okay? Love you. Love you, EJ. Love you, Zach. Bye, Lily.